Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy Wizard King, and welcome to today's video where, like the thumbnail said, we're going to be talking about Yami versus Pain. Now, this video has kind of been a long time coming, and I apologize for the long wait. I think it's been over about a month now since I posted the poll on my Twitter and decided I was going to make this Yami versus Pain video. And life happens. I'm a student, so there's school, and then another thing is like this is my third take on the video. So the first two takes I didn't really like. I didn't like the first take because I felt like I sounded like a certain famous anime Naruto YouTuber whose name I won't mention, but it rhymes with right, Kage. And the second take I didn't really like just because I started it and then I got halfway through it and school got really busy, so I kind of just abandoned it. And I hate finishing off like abandoned projects. I'd rather just have a fresh start and do it again. And another thing is I kind of figured out my own style of YouTube videos because I made like 2 videos or a couple more videos since I promised I was gonna make the Yami versus Pain video, and that kind of helped me figure out, okay, this is the style I want my videos to be, and that's what I'm adopting in this video. So without further ado, Yami versus Pain, let's get into the shits. Cue intro. Alright, so getting into the video proper, the rules of the battle are simple. We're talking about a fully powered 6 paths of Pain versus a fully powered post 6-month time skip Yami. And the battle is taking place outside of the hidden rain village. That means they're like high tier, country level jutsus like the chaotic Shinra Tensei, the planetary devastation. All of those are fair game. So Pain would be able to use all of those. And of course, Yami will have his full arsenal of abilities like the Dark Cloaked Dimension Slash, the Dark Cloaked DI Slash, and all the variations of the Dark Cloaked Avita Slash. Alright, so here is how I kind of see the fight playing out, okay? So I'm gonna give you some facts right now. I'm gonna give you all some cold, hard boiled facts, okay? The truth is that Yami counters a lot of Pain's abilities, and here is how, right? So one thing that Pain is kind of noted for is that Pain jumps people, right? So like if you watch his fight with Jiraiya, which I had to rewatch for this video, he basically jumped Jiraiya. Like all 6 of them just jumped the fuck out of Jiraiya. And the thing with that is Yami's able to sense ki. So it's kind of going to be impossible for Pain to sneak up on Yami. Like that's a lot of Pain's strategy. Like if you watch how Pain fights, like he usually just hides and then just like comes out and just sneaks up on his opponent with like some crazy hacks weird ability, and he facilitates this by hiding in one of his giant summonings, let's say his giant chameleon for example, and then he comes out and it's like almighty push next thing, and the opponent's like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened, and next thing they're on the floor getting raped by all the 6 paths of Pain. Oh my god, I shouldn't have said that, I'm sorry. Getting fucked by all the 6 paths of Pain. Oh my god, rape jokes are no guys. No rape jokes, zero rape jokes. This is a very positive community I'm trying to build here, so zero rape jokes, okay? All right, so another thing about Yami is he is like way faster than any of the 6 paths of Pain. Like he's honestly way faster than a lot of Naruto characters, but I'm gonna save that for another video, right? Okay, so Yami is at the very least, like, you're lowballing the shit out of Yami at this point, faster than light speed, right? Because even like at the beginning of the series, he was able to keep up with Licht, who is light speed. Because we know that in the Black Clover series, magic tends to retain its like original attributes. So if you're a light magic user, you can use, you know, light speed spells to transport yourself to various places. If you watch the fight with Julius versus Patri, you see the same thing. Okay, so Yami is leagues faster than any of the 6 paths of pain and can easily react to anything they try to throw at him. I'll get into like in the individual paths of pain at a later point in the video, like how he counters the Deva path specifically, or how he counters the Preta or the Naraka or the Asura path, right? Okay, so another thing about Yami is he has multiple one-shot techniques, right? And honestly, so does Pain. Like, I gotta give my boy Pain that, you know, because you gotta put some respect on Pain's name, because this nigga will drag your soul out, like, no cap, you know? And but I mean, comparing Pain's one-shot techniques and Yami's one-shot techniques, like, Yami can literally cut through dimensions like that. If that's not broken, I don't know what is. And then, like, he has this new ability called the Death Thrust, where he literally obliterates space, like, in an entire area. And he does this by by condensing his monozone, and he condenses this monozone and super condenses it, and then he's able to release all like the condensed mana from the monozone in one specific direction in an instant, and it's able to instantly just obliterate Dante's torso if you've like read the fight or you've watched it. But yeah, it's some pretty crazy hacksy shit, right? And to some degree, Yami also has some of Pain's abilities. Now, Yami clearly does not have the Renegon. He can't do like half the shit the Renegon can do. But Yami can absorb spells and he can erase them within a certain area. Kind of similar to the Preta path, who is able to absorb and who's able to absorb chakra-based attacks and kind of repel them. Well, not repel them, but like he absorbs them, and that's basically like negating them. Okay, so now that we've covered, you know, Yami and how he's faster than Pain and has multiple one-shot techniques, and he's able to absorb he's able to absorb like magic attacks. I probably should have mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but another rule of the battle is that for this fight, and honestly for future fights, because like they're very, very similar, like forms of energy, right? So we have chakra, which is a spiritual based energy, and we also have mana or magic, which is a spiritual based energy. So for the sake of the video, let's just say that they're able to interact with each other as they would from their individual universes, with the same limitations for each fighter. So let's say the Preta path would, in theory, be able to absorb Yami's dark magic attacks, and Yami would, in theory, be able to absorb any kind of hacksy jutsus that the Pain would throw at him using his Black Moon. All right, so getting more into why Yami's ki sensing is pretty problematic for Pain is that, okay, so we know how Pain fights, right? There are 6 paths of Pain. All of them are corpses, controlled remotely by Nagato from some area where he's hiding, but he can't be too far away from them in order for the chakra signals that he's sending through the chakra rods to actually get through. Now, a lot of the people Pain ended up fighting had one severe disadvantage against Pain, is that they couldn't tell the secret of Pain. They couldn't tell that, you know, these were 6 corpses being controlled remotely from a distance. Now, Yami would instantly be able to tell that these are corpses because if you watch the episode where Yami was teaching Asta how to sense ki, like he's very clearly distinguished the difference between living ki and non-living ki. And just coming into contact with the six paths of pain, he would instantly be able to sense that they're giving off non-living ki. And he would then be able to deduce from sensing that they're giving off non-living ki that the pains are being controlled from a remote distance. Now, that's one like major like disadvantage for Pain with Yami having ki. Another thing is Pain can't pull a lot of those sneak attacks he does. Like I mentioned earlier, he would hide in the chameleon and come out and almighty push his opponents or try to steal their souls or something like that. And that wouldn't really work with Yami, because although the chameleon can turn invisible, it's still gonna give off ki, and Yami's gonna be able to sense that ki, and that's gonna be problematic for Pain. So that's already like a huge disadvantage for Pain, in that he can't pull a lot of his sneak attacks, and Yami's gonna be able to instantly detect and tell that the real Pain is not there, because the Pains are corpses and they will not give off living ki, and Yami will be able to tell that. Okay, so I honestly think that this battle is definitely going to be mid to high def for Yami, because both fighters are going in blind. They don't know each other's abilities, right? So Yami's going in blind. He doesn't know what any of the Pains can do. He has to be super cautious, even though he has the speed advantage, right? And Pain is going in, and Pain has no idea what Yami could do either. So, I see this being like a mid to high def match for Yami especially. Now, how does Yami counter each of the individual Pain's abilities? All right, so let's talk about the Deva Path, right? That's the most like threatening path of Pain. That's the strongest path of Pain, right? All right, so the Deva Path is able to like manipulate gravity to a certain degree with the forces of attraction and repulsion. We've seen this multiple times, although there's a 5-second lag time, which is, mind you, plenty of time for Yami to get a nice good EI slash in and end the fight with the Deva Path. But again, it's going to be difficult because the Deva Path is going to be surrounded by all the other 5 paths of Pain, and I don't think they'd really, like, even if Yami has a speed advantage, I don't think they'd be so lackluster that they wouldn't at least try to react. And another thing to keep in mind is that the Pains all have linked vision, so their eyesights are linked. The Redigon, granted them that ability where they're able to, and it also helps that like they're all one person basically. So the Renegade grants them that shared field of vision. So it's not like Yami's just gonna go in within that 5-second frame and just like cut off Pain's head, although it is very highly possible. Okay, so now the Deva Path, gravity manipulation. We've seen Yami fight someone with higher stats of gravity manipulation. Like, if you gave the Deva Path steroids, he still wouldn't be on the same level of gravity manipulation as Dante was. And I can totally see Yami negating the Deva Path's attacks with his monozone Black Hole Black Moon, which is a spell that basically erases the effects of other spells around Yami within his monozone. So as long as Yami is within that monozone and is using that monozone ability, the Deva Path will not be able to affect him with the almighty push or the universal pull. Now, that doesn't mean the Deva Path is going to be completely useless in this battle, because the Deva Path will be able to control the objects around him and, cause some commotion on the battlefield, but I don't think it will be enough commotion to where it completely throws Yami off his game. Okay, so that's the Deva Path. That's how I see the fight with the Deva Path going. All of his abilities get negated by the Black Hole Black Moon. All right, so getting into the Asura path. Now, the Asura path is the path of pain that is able to create mechanized weapons, and he creates like ballistic weaponry, like missiles and like blades and chakra cannons, and that's all good and fine, but I don't think any of those shits are hitting Yami, man. Like, he's just way too fast, and like his key sensing ability plus like post 6 month time skip Yami is able to combine his monozone and key sensing to predict the future, although he says he's not on Julius's level because Julius literally has time magic, but that form of precognition would help him counter anything the Asura Path thinks he could throw at him. And I can see that being like just a dimension slash or a death thrust, and it's a GG. All right, so the Asura Path, I think that's a pretty easy stomp. The Preta Path. All right, the Preta Path might give Yami a little trouble at first because the Preta Path is able to, like, for the constraints of this battle, is able to absorb dark magic. Now, being able to absorb like a bulk of Yami's attacks is gonna be problematic for Yami initially, but there's attacks that the Preta Path will not be able to absorb, like the Dimension Slash and the Death Thrust, because these attacks are hard to track. Like, if you watch when the Preta Path absorbs attacks and like chakra based abilities, he always has to like get in front of it, stop it, and then start absorbing, that kind of situation. But like if the attack is too hard to track, he wouldn't be able to stop it and absorb it. And like, Yami's attacks are like way fast. Like, the Dimension Slash is way faster than like a Rasen Shuriken being thrown at you, right? So I see the Preta Path, having that difficulty, and one Death Thrust is probably all it will take. And then, now I know that each of the pains can be revived. I'll get into the Naraka Path later, but for now, let's talk about the Animal Path. Now, this is the path I kind of see maybe giving Yami like some stress, because it could just spam summon animals, and Yami is fast, but like there's a degree of like overwhelm. How do you even say this word? There's a limit, right, to how much you can handle at one situation. Okay, in one sitting, right? So if he just like if the Animal Path just spam summons animals, that could kind of throw Yami off his game and throw the whole battlefield into like a pretty chaotic like place. But I don't think it would be too bad to where Yami wouldn't be able to navigate, and like, because like you gotta admit, like, the summonings are strong, but they're slow as shit. And another thing like to note about Yami is that his physical strength is no joke. He is the #1 strongest physical mage in the Clover Kingdom, and you could see it when he's fighting, because like Dante's heavy infighting gladiator was able to knock out Asta like instantly, and you see Yami countering this guy with a sword, right? So Yami's pretty fucking strong. So I can totally see him knocking out a few of the animals, and just going in for the kill with the Animal Path, and just maybe one Dimension Slash or one Death Thrust, or maybe like a regular old Black Blade or something, and it's GG, and so he could like dodge and run from the animals, kind of like if Sage Mode Jiraiya was able to like run away from like a lot of the animals and survive for that long, I don't think it should be any problems for Yami. Now getting into the Human Path. Now, this is the only path of pain that Yami cannot counter. And this is important because the ability of the Human Path is to extract a soul from a human. Now, if the Human Path gets its hands on Yami, it's GG. It's done, right? The game is over. Yami loses. But I don't think the Human Path would be fast enough to keep up with Yami or even like touch Yami, because Yami would just be way too fast, and his key sensing and precognition would definitely be a lot for the human path to handle, with being able to like touch him to like absorb his soul. Plus, Yami is gonna be in the black hole, black moon monozone, which again, if I another point is that the Preta Path, right? The Preta Path can absorb jutsus. Going back to the Preta Path, Preta Path can absorb jutsus, but I'm going to tell you why the Preta Path will not be able to absorb the black hole, black moon, and that is tied to why the human path will also not be able to get in through that area of monozone to get into Yami's area and touch Yami. The thing with that is the black moon, like we've seen, the regular black hole is able to absorb your spells and keep you in space. The black moon, however, is also able to do the same thing, where it holds you in space for Yami to do the dark cloaked Yi slash. Now this dark cloaked Yi slash is a saw drawing technique that never misses. It never misses because from what we know about monozone, right? One, monozone is able to allow the user to send spells from any direction. So Yami can, within that monozone, can be sending his slash attacks from behind, under, on top, like anywhere. We've seen Yuno do this multiple times, and Yami is definitely a more proficient mage, a more proficient fighter than Yuno is. And damn, this video is like 20 minutes long now. Well, you know, it is what it is. Continuing, so that's why the Preta Path won't be able to absorb it, because if he goes in and tries to touch to absorb the black hole, black moon monozone ability, he will just get trapped there and held there by the black hole, and he won't be able to move, giving Yami the opportunity to get a nice clean Yi slash in. And same thing with the human path. So Yami, as long as he's within that monozone, will be practically untouchable. Now, for the last path, the Naraka Path, the Naraka Path's abilities revolve around bringing back the 6 paths of pain and reviving them each time they fall. Now, this is why the fight is going to be mid to high diff for Yami, because he's not going to know that the Naraka Path is able to do this, right? And he might just overlook and ignore him, or try to find out like what is this guy's ability based on the formation that the 6 paths of pain take. Now, once Yami realizes that this pain is able to revive the other pains, that is going to be his primary target. Right, so this is why I think the fight is going to be mid to high diff, because Yami is going to have to kill each and every one of the pains multiple times if he does not kill the Naraka Path first. And I feel like he'd be able to do this. Oh yeah, getting back to the Deva Path, right? This is kind of scattered, but I like it. I like the flow of it, because like I'm talking and I'm saying things as they come to mind on how Yami counters each of their abilities. Now, the Deva Path. Let's talk about the Deva Path for a second. The Deva Path, again, is able to use the jutsus I mentioned earlier, which are the Planetary Devastation and the Chaotic Shinra Tensei. We've covered the Chaotic Shinra Tensei. Chaotic Shinra Tensei wouldn't work because of the black hole, black moon, and that's just what it is. Now for the Planetary Devastation, at the end of, like, not the end, but like sometime during the war arc, Itachi pointed out a big weakness of the Planetary Devastation, and that is it pulls everything to its core, including attack spells. So if Yami just like dimension slashes it, or you know, I can't see him really death thrusting it, but like he also could try that. It would just like shatter it, right? That's the end of it. But In addition to like, his death thrust and dimension slash and his other attack spells like the black blade and Avita slashes, Yami also has the black cocoon, which could cushion a lot of like attacks from the six paths of pain. Like he would be able to probably cushion like an almighty push, before he activates the black moon. He'd probably be able to like cushion an almighty push with it, and a lot of the Asura Path's attacks and whatnot. And the speed advantage is just too high. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the video and about my thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop us a like. It really does help the channel grow. And yeah, with that being said, I will see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.